All right, guys. So right now we have a situation where we have some addition happening and then some subtraction happening. So this is not the distributive property, but we need to do some simplifying, and then ultimately we've got things being sold in 5-foot lengths. So we're going to have to take that information, and our total will end up getting divided by 5. So we're going to start looking for some perfect squares. So this is going to be 2 times 48 times 100. So this is plus, so I would be distributing a positive 1, so it's not going to matter. So this just becomes plus 160, and this becomes minus 8, and then here we're going to have 3 times 100. So I'm going to go back to my first root. This 48 is actually 2 to the square root of 3 times 16 times 100. So that's going to simplify pretty nicely. Plus 160, and then this is still minus 8 to the square root of 3 times 100. So I'm going to start pulling out some perfect squares. This is going to be 2 times 4 times 10 to the square root of 3 plus 160 minus 8 times 10 to the square root of 3. I'm starting to see some like radicals there. I've got a root 3 and a root 3. So 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 3, 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 10 is 80, so I've got 80 to the square root of 3 plus 160 minus, well, 8 times 10 is 80 to the square root of, 80 to the square root of 3. So at this point, I recognize that I have 80 to the square root of 3, but I'm subtracting 80 to the square root of 3. So those two terms are going to cancel out, and I've got 160. Well, 160 is the total amount needed, and it is sold in 5-unit chunks. So when I divide that out, I get that they're going to need 32 pieces of fencing. So that right there should be the end of the practice example questions for this unit. So what you're going to do now is you're going to turn in your Walch books to page 247. So on page 247, you're going to do numbers 1 and 2 and 3. And so for those ones, you're just simplifying. Then for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you are simplifying, and then you are telling me whether or not they are rational or irrational. Then if they are irrational, you're supposed to get a decimal approximation. So it says to round to the nearest hundredth. Then you'll turn over to page 248, where you just have 2 word problems. So think about what they're asking you to do there, and go ahead and answer those. So the next step will be that I'll be posting the solutions to those problems, as well as the more challenging ones worked out for anyone that has any questions about that. And then you should be working on that Delta math assignment about working with radicals. So it's adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. And then we will do some instruction for lesson 3.3 on Thursday. So I hope that you guys are doing all right and that this made sense to you. And email me if you have any questions. Bye.